So one day, after buying two of these 30-foot balloons, one that popped to a plunger and one that I tried to air up all the way, but the wind took a hold of it and popped it. So I bought a third one now to finally try to get it to 30 feet. I waited for a non-windy day and was sure to even wear gloves so I didn't get oil on the balloon. It kept on blowing up until eventually there were striations in the balloon and it popped. Here it is slow-mo several times. But that's maximum height. There was even a big cloud of dust. Comment any other ideas. So one day, after trying to make spin art that turned out alright, but not as good as I'd hoped for, I decided to try again. Because everyone kept saying all I needed to do was buy more paint. So I bought more paint and this tiny canvas to try it too. I just put a lot of blue paint on there, as you can see, then green paint, spread some yellow across the edges, and I thought it was ready. It was dripping, and when it spun, paint went everywhere, and it got up to really fast, and yeah, it didn't quite turn out how I hoped. It turned out worse than the last one, but then I tried the tiny canvas, put some paint on it, spun it, and broke it. And it turned out the exact same. I was sad.
So one day I ordered this stuff called Great Stuff, which is basically expandable foam insulation. And my goal was to build a boat out of it. Not just any boat, a cardboard boat. Because a while back I had a series on TikTok where I tried to make cardboard boats float. And I was never very successful. But I used the best cardboard boat design I knew how to make. And then I was going to cover the entire outside in the Great Stuff. And hopefully it'll float. So I finished taping up the entire bottom. Like this. And I already had a decent looking boat. Then we covered the entire bottom in the Great Stuff. And then later we covered the rest of the sides. And when I came back the next day, it was solid looking. And it was ready to be tested in the creek. I walked it down and then got in. And I started to float away. It was working flawlessly without any problem. So I just kept on rowing and having a good time. And then I about ran into a tree. And then I started heading out further. And it was the best boat I'd ever made. I just kept going.
So one day I wanted to fill this entire room completely up with packing peanuts. I poured out all these trash bags of leftover packing peanuts I had and then got this big bag out and topped it all off until the room was completely filled and it looked like this. It was crazy. Packing peanuts everywhere, high as the bed. I jumped in them, then got on the bed, rolled off, then rolled off this way, threw them up in the air and fell on them. Then I laid down with the packing peanuts and dove off into them and shimmied around. And I appeared. Let me know what else I should do with these. So one day I found my old kangaroo shoes I hadn't seen in forever. They're supposed to make you run and jump super high. I put them on and struggled. I remember how hard they were to use. I walked for a little bit, then tried jumping, and I was struggling, so I put my hood on for safety. I then went over to the hoop, picked up a basketball, and shot it. It went right in. I guess it makes you better. But then I couldn't pick it up, so I went over to the ball and tried to see if I could really run on these. Here I am running, then dunking, and then running out in the wild, then trying to race my dog. She kind of took the lead. Then I started walking because I kind of lost my balance, but they're pretty cool. So I'm trying to live another day like I'm in Minecraft. The first thing you do in Minecraft is chop down a tree, which wasn't really working well for me. I tried shaking it, but it didn't fall down. So the next thing was building a house, which I just tried to do with materials I found around me. So I started placing these stones like this, and then I found these random wooden planks. Yeah, totally. Made a little structure, tried to use cardboard, but it failed, so I just put this air mattress over it, and I had a little base. And next was trying to survive in the snow biome. In Minecraft, you can build a campfire, so that was my first goal, build a fire. I tried rubbing sticks together, but it wasn't working, so then I remembered flint and steel, like you actually use in Minecraft. I put some sticks, this, and started trying to spark it, but it wasn't really working. Until somehow it definitely lit without me using lighter, totally. I added more sticks and leaves to make the fire bigger, and remember, don't attempt this. I'm a pro. I made the fire, I was warm and ready for bed. Comment any other ideas I should try to survive Minecraft style in real life. So one day, about a year ago, there was this trend on TikTok where people were making these abstract paintings and selling them on eBay for a high amount of money. I made these two on my own that ended up bidding for a lot, but never sold. But I'm going to try my luck again. I went to Hobby Lobby, got a big canvas and some paint, and I was ready to make a highly valuable art piece. I decided to model it after my giant 1,000-pound rubber band ball. I started spreading out this blue paint, then a lot more, and then just dumped a bunch, trying to fill the entire background and make it blue. And after it was done drying, I came back with the yellow with a lot of swirls, trying to make the ball as abstract as possible and look really cool. I added the green and started kind of just doing that and mixing around until it looked like that. Then I started splattering paint everywhere, the white stuff, and trying to make it look starry and cool. And it ended up looking like this. I really liked it. I took some pictures of it, made the listing, and I called it Time Ball and gave it a really abstract, bizarre meaning. Follow to keep updated. So one day, about a year ago, I got this water gun that could shoot really powerful, and here's me getting shot in the back with it. It kind of hurt, but they came out with a new one, and since I broke my other one with boiling water, I decided to try it out. It's basically the same gun with a different design. Here's me acting like I was going to shoot Alex, and letting him shoot me, then shooting the camera, the basketball hoop, then this can that got completely destroyed. Then I decided to fill it up and shoot my friend Brennan on full blast. I waited for him behind the bush, and eventually he came. It was fully charged up, and it hit all the way to him. Then he ran, I chased him down a little bit, then shot him again, and he shot me, and then I shot a bunch. So one day I bought a 30-foot balloon to try to pop it. I covered my head and then I got white stuff in my nose and then tried to air it up. It was really cool and it made like these waves. It aired up for a little while until it was completely full. I untied it and then wrapped some rubber bands around it and look at it. I hit it, did some ripples, and then here's it next to the rubber band ball. I shot it with a Nerf gun, then shot a giant rubber band at it, punched it, let it run, hit it some more, and it wouldn't pop, so I threw a basketball at it, then flex sealed so one day on it. Bam. Then got out a plunger and tossed it at it, and it went pop. Like if I should buy another one. So one day people were commenting how I was going to clean all these packing peanuts in my storm shelter up, so I thought I'd show a little behind the scenes of how we did it. I got some friends to help me. We got a lot of bags and boxes and just started filling them up. There was really no amazing shortcut around just scooping them all up and putting them into bags. But with the help of my friend Brennan, boxing them up and then dumping the boxes into the bags and scooping everything, after about an hour we got most of it cleaned up, and then we scooped the rest into this bag like this, and also picked a lot up by hand. And the rest is completely 100% biodegradable. I will be storing all of this. So one day I went to this place that gets puppies from pet stores that have something wrong with them, and I decided to buy this puppy. She had a little hop, and we took her to PetSmart to pick out a bunch of toys. We got this, and she was looking pretty happy. Got a collar, then she itched like this, and that was pretty funny. And eventually, after about a week, her hop became more of a run, and she was quick, running all over the place. And she seemed overall pretty happy, and she even became pretty good friends with our other dog, Gundy, and we ended up naming her Remy. Go follow her. So one day I saw a thing where bar soap reacts really weird in the microwave. So I bought a bunch of different soap brands to microwave them all and see what they do. I put the first one in and let it go. It wasn't really doing anything, and then it just kind of melted it and smelled really bad. It was pretty melted, so then I switched to this soap and did one of those old satisfying brick things with it. I put it in the microwave and it eventually started foaming up a little bit and looked like this. And it was also really soft and squishy. And next was the ivory soap, which was supposedly the best. It spun around, fell over, and then started to expand like this. And it felt really soft like a tissue. I then just put all the soap I had left in the microwave to see what that would do. And all the white soap expanded the most, and it looked like this, and it was really squishy. But it wasn't enough, so I microwaved it even longer, and it expanded like this. Whoa. So one day I wanted to try a day in Minecraft in real life. My goal was to build a boat and go fishing, but I had to use cardboard as wooden planks that I got from the villager marketplace. And I thought I was well equipped for this task because I have a long history building boats. I duct taped the cardboard together like this until I had a boat. The boat looked pretty sturdy, which is good because the water is going to be very cold. Then I just had to build a fishing pole. In Minecraft you use sticks, so I tried to collect some. This first stick was too small, so I kept on looking until eventually I found this and broke off the perfect stick. I attached it to some string like so, made a little hook, and it was ready to go fishing. I had my boat and my pole, took it down to this creek, and got in the boat. The journey started off a little wobbly, and I barely made it in the boat, but I was in and sort of floating, so I tried fishing. Cast it this way with not much luck, and a boat full of water, so I just resorted to fishing on shore with not much more luck until eventually it started pouring and I caught this carrot, which gave me the idea to plant it later to multiply my carrots. I also caught this book, which I used to enchant my fishing pole like this, which didn't actually give me much more luck, because I casted it and just caught this shoe. So one day I made this random kind of abstract painting that I put on eBay and made a listing and tried to sell it for $60. And I also made this spin art painting that I also listed on eBay at $50. And I promoted them through TikTok and stuff, waited around. And after a lot of time and 5 million views later, one of the paintings went all the way up to $1,000 and the other one had 50 bids going up to $14,000. I was amazed. So I decided to message the final buyer, and this is what they said. Their little sister bid on it and they can't pay. So yeah, kind of what I expected, but I was still kind of sad. So one day I decided to test flex tape on a fish tank. I bought a robo fish to go along with it to swim in it. Then I opened up the tank, filled it completely up with water to the top, and then put the fish in and it started swimming. It was pretty cute, and I also gave it a little home. Now it was time to try to break the glass to see if flex tape would repair it, but the glass just wouldn't break, so I decided to use more extreme measures, this hammer, which eventually was too much and completely shattered it. Here's the slow-mo, and the fish just flew out. Poor fishy. But I still had the flex tape. I put it on and it looked like this. The fish still didn't have much of a home. So one day it was really windy, so I took my hamster ball out to try to make it fly away. I started bouncing and kicking up in the air, seeing if the wind would take it, and then I rolled over it like this. Then I attached this paracord to it to see if it would spin off into the air. It caught a little bit of wind, but I didn't have much luck, and then I just fell. I spun it one more time really fast like this, threw it, and then got on it again and slid off. I then randomly decided to fill it up with packing peanuts again, and it felt like a beanbag. And then I just aired it all the way up. And if this video gets enough likes, I'll fill it up with helium. So one day someone commented saying I should try to crush an old Nokia phone with my 1,200-pound rubber band ball. And I'm going to be doing this and testing the durability of a lot of older phones. And this slightly newer Nokia as well. We did a drop test with these two phones first and threw them like this and dropped a rubber band ball on them. And even rolled a giant rubber band ball on one of them and stuck it inside the rubber band ball as well. But now it was time to test the two Nokias. We did a basic drop test and the older Nokia held up the best. But now it was time to crush it. I could hear the crunch and it rolled onto the Nokia. But it honestly didn't even do that much damage. So I dropped a brick on it like this, and then dropped it on it again, and it was pretty destroyed. Comment what else I should try. So one day I ordered 6 giant bags of packing peanuts to completely fill up my storm shelter with. And this is the inside of the storm shelter we're going to completely fill with all these bags. I started out with 2 to see what it would look like, added them all in until eventually it looked like this. I then dropped the 3rd in and it kind of covered the camera. I went searching for it, found it, but here it is. It's already really full. It was crazy inside, really warm and kind of cozy. Here's me and what it looks like inside, and then it was time to add more. This is double. I got in, splashed around, and it was like 4 feet of just straight packing peanuts. I dove in like this, then tried to completely bury myself in them and hide like this. I was kind of peeking out, and then I did that, and then I went even further in. I then shut the door. It was really cool. Comment any other ideas you have for the storm shelter. So one day I decided to take my super powerful water gun that shoots really fast like this and fill it completely up with Vooz. I dumped out the water and then dumped Bang's Vooz energy into this bucket like this, completely full, and it smelled really good. I put the gun in it, filled it completely up, and it shot like this. And when I blasted the Vooz can, it put a big dent in it. Then I aimed, shot all 3 cans, knocked them off, then shot the ceiling, drank it, and then completely blasted that can and tried to catch some in my mouth like this, and I just got wet. So one day after I filled this giant hamster ball completely up with packing peanuts, people kept commenting, telling me to fill it up completely to the top. So that's what I'm going to do. I unzipped the ball and started pouring until it reached the top. It was so full. I stepped into it and it was really deep. Put my head in and put the blower in and started airing it all the way up. Once it was aired up, I rocked around, splashed the peanuts, and then started running. You couldn't even see me because of all the packing peanuts. And remember, don't try this at home. I'm a pro. I did 2 big rolls in it, like this, and then I just started running. And you couldn't even see me until I stopped. Here I am chilling. I threw some peanuts at the camera and then ran off into the distance. So one day I wanted to spend a day in my kangaroo shoes that are supposed to make you run really fast and jump really high. They're really hard to balance on, so this is going to be hard. I tried to pick up this basketball but fell into my ball pit, so I had to scooch all the way over to the couch to get myself up. And I was up. I then did some more everyday tasks like throwing away the trash, going upstairs, which was very hard, and using the bathroom, which was hard too. Just kidding. I washed my hands, and then I had to go downstairs by scooching, and then I decided to take my dog on a walk. It was pretty good at first. She enjoyed it. Here I am running back, her following along, and then I slipped on ice almost. I tried to relax in him for a bit and watch this awesome rubber band ball guy, and then I went to the gym, where I was going to get a sick workout with my kangaroo shoes. I had to have someone hand me the dumbbells because I couldn't bend over, and then I did some more curls, some pull-ups, some leg raises, and then I jumped down and was feeling good and motivated, so I decided to try to hit 2 plates. I went down and, no, was stuck. But no worries, I just got up and walked off in my kangaroo shoes. So one day, after everyone kept commenting, telling me to take my 1,000-pound rubber band ball back to the pawn shop like I did a year ago when it was only 100 pounds, I finally went back and showed the man a picture.
Wow, that looks like a wrecking ball.
It now weighs over 1,000 pounds. Should you look at it tomorrow? And I convinced him to come out to my warehouse tomorrow morning to tell me what he thought it was worth. So the next day, he came out.
There
he is. Here's the ball. Everyone's been wanting to see it for a long time. Last time I brought it in the store, like only 100 pounds. Now it's 10 times the size.
Wow.
Try to move it.
There's one big ball.
I let him move it around, and then I pushed it down to show him just how heavy it actually is.
It's like a wrecking ball.
Have you thought about maybe selling it to a wrecking ball company?
I think it's like worth more and it's like artness.
How much you want for
I
it?
thought about the price and then told him how much I had in bands
Probably a
alone.
few thousand in the rubber band.
500 wouldn't buy it.
Wouldn't be worth
We
it.
can load it up if you want to sell it.
I think I'm just gonna have to pass and beat the world record, but
Okay.
He didn't go high enough on the ball, so I just showed him some other stuff in the shop, including this ball and this aluminum foil ball.
That's a lot of foil.
And I said he could have the aluminum ball for 100, but he said that wouldn't be a good return.
So one day, someone commented on my video where I tested flex tape on a fish tank after breaking it like this, and it didn't really work. They said to try a bow and arrow in a plastic tank, so that's what I'm going to do. I got my bow out, this plastic tank, filled it all the way up, put the SpongeBob thing in there and the robo fish, and shot it. The arrow actually made a perfect hole I could try to repair. I pulled it out, and all the water was spewing out, and I kind of messed up putting the tape on, so I had to cut some more and add more quickly. The water was running out, I added a 3rd piece, and the fish just barely survived. So one day I went into my room full of packing peanuts and I had an idea. Fill this inflatable dinosaur costume completely up with packing peanuts. I walked around, fell down, threw a bunch of packing peanuts in the air like this, and then decided to get to work. I taped up the seams and holes like this and then just began stuffing it as much as I could. I wanted to make a completely stuffed dinosaur teddy bear, but the zipper broke. And I tried to tape it, but it didn't really work, so I just threw it in the ground and body slammed it. Yeah, let me know what else I should try. So one day I saw a TikTok of a guy making one of those spinny art paintings, and it looked really cool, like this. And I was like, I could try that and make one. I put some flex tape on some screws and wood, made the frame, and then I squirted some red, white, blue, and green in the corners until I had this. It looked pretty neat, so I took it outside and started spinning. And it kept on going and going until it looked like this. And I didn't think I was going fast enough, so I tried again, but it still looked the same. And yeah, mine wasn't quite as good as the other guys, but let me know what you think.
So one day I decided to build a giant slingshot out of giant rubber bands that I used for my giant rubber band ball. We started by pouring concrete, mixing it up because we wanted to make it super sturdy and movable. We did this with 2 buckets, then came back the next day, and they were pretty heavy. We put rubber bands around them, but they fell, so we added supports, then began putting a lot more bands. And it didn't work, so then I tried the slingshot I had, and that didn't really work either. And I gave up for a while, but I remembered I could just make it wider. And then it worked perfectly. Look at this baseball launching. So then I had the idea to set up a target and try to hit it. We had this glass thing here, and I was trying to hit it several times. I missed, went right past it again, and then finally dinked it. But it didn't even do anything. Then I just chucked the ball at it, and it wouldn't break, so I hit it with a bat, then hit the baseball, and launched a pineapple. It didn't go very far, so I threw it. And got out tape and a bunch of crates to try to knock it down. Fell like this, then I threw a bat and a rubber band ball and a shovel. So one day someone commented that I should fill my inflatable hamster ball up with all these packing peanuts that were in this room. So that's what I did. I then pushed it downstairs to get in and air it up. I got in, let it air up for a little bit, and then I got a snowball thrown at me. Ow. And then I kept on airing it up until it was full. And it was really cool inside and soft. I splashed around all the packing peanuts and then did a roll, and it didn't even hurt because all the packing peanuts cushioned my rolling. I then kept on rolling, and it looked like a popcorn machine. Here's the inside of it. And then me running as fast as I can and falling into the packing peanuts. Then I wanted to see if I could completely hide in the packing peanuts like this, and it worked. Here I am though. I then ran a little bit more, got tired, and got out. Let me know what else I should try. So one day, after trying to experience Minecraft in real life with my homemade Minecraft fishing pole and boat, I failed and sunk the boat and only caught this carrot. But in Minecraft, you can multiply your carrots by farming them, so that's what I'm going to try. I took my hoe and started hitting the land, and then I made a spot for my carrot. I pushed it in, let it sit in the ground, and then I planted another one right here. Bam. Yeah, I waited a couple Minecraft days until bam, I had way more carrots. Which gave me another idea. Tame a horse. But you normally use apples, but I'm gonna try carrots. I'm gonna make a horse my best friend. I went out and found this donkey. I gave it a carrot, and then I moved on to the horse, and it loved me. I could see the hearts forming above its head, and it was my stallion. So one day, after someone commented that I should fill my inflatable dome with the packing peanuts too, I decided to do it. I dumped out all the trash bags full of packing peanuts like this, and then dumped the hamster ball out until I had this. A giant dome full of packing peanuts that was also blowing them everywhere. I threw some in the air and then threw some at the blower, and it would just hit them back at me like this. It was kind of cool, but some of them kind of hurt. I tried to see how much I could take. Then I fell backwards, fell forward, and did a flip. And here I am just chilling in the dome. Comment any other things I should try. One day I had Purple send me a mattress to test their famous raw egg test. They basically slam a bunch of eggs on the mattress, and no matter what, it won't break the egg. Inside the mattress was these mini mattresses that were super stretchy, because that's what they're made of. Then this mask, I opened up the mattress, unrolled it, cut open the plastic, and it aired up. It was pretty comfy. I was actually super impressed by the comfort. My dog even liked it. I had all these eggs to put it to the test. I first crushed one with the mini mattresses like that, and then I threw one at the mattress, tried to push on it, fall on it, and it just wouldn't break. So I tried on the couch as well, and it still wouldn't break. And even the rubber band ball wouldn't crush it. So then I tested the eggs, make sure they were still good. Yeah, they break. So I just chucked them as hard as I could, both at the mattress and the couch. They bounced off, and then I tried the 3-egg drop test thing. I fell flat on my back eventually, like that, and the eggs were perfectly fine, even after I fell like this. So I resorted to the 1,000-pound rubber band ball, which actually crushed it. And I was like, I'm gonna take this cover off and see what's inside the mattress. And it was actually pretty cool. I ripped this thing open, which I don't think you're supposed to do, but it felt really cool. Look at it.